Hello everyone, this is Andy from the Retro Asylum site. Basically, welcome to the first Monday Musing. Now, Monday Musing, let me tell you what it is. It's basically a little filler in between the podcast, which comes out one week, and then the following week you get the Monday Musing. Now, I'm not too sure whether it's going to be done in episodes or whether it's going to be dated, but basically it'll just be me telling you what's been happening, what we're going to do on the site, who we're going to get on as a guest, and just generally what we've been playing. So basically, first up, this weekend, let me show you my little wristbands. I don't know how clear you can see that. Yep, that's the Replay wristband for the Sunday. I was lucky enough to get a press pass for that, so yeah, I managed to blag my way through that, which is really nice. Yeah, so I went to Replay just the weekend just gone, which was held in Blackpool in Norbert Castle. I ended up going down there with my co-host, Swaney. And yeah, it was a nice weekend, absolutely fantastic. The journey down there from London though was tiring. It took us at least 4 hours. I went down by train. Swaney ended up going by coach, so I think poor old Swaney took him about 6 hours and a bit. But overall, let me quickly tell you how the weekend went. We got down there, and it was a good 50-minute from our hotel. We ended up walking down there. I think originally we ended up walking the wrong way. So it took us over an hour and a bit to get down there, and it was a lot of walking this weekend basically, because we were in the middle of nowhere. And yeah, we went down there, and we were just amazed, because as soon as you walk in through the foyer, you've got a nice little section down there with you've got a few computers, you've got a few little bits and bobs down there, and straight away I recognised someone that I knew, someone from YouTube, someone I'm a big fan of, Lofarius, aka Keith. And he had his little stall there, and I want to show you exactly what he had on his stall, so bear with me guys, and I'll see if I can show you that. Now this is his magazine that he produced. Now Lofarius has got a website called Nes-bit.com, and it's a site dedicated to the 8-bit Nintendo. Now, the reason why I'm advertising his site so heavily, and I'd definitely say go and check it out, is because, first of all, he's a really nice guy. I got to know him a little bit better once I was down there, but I'm a big fan of UK-based gaming websites, and he's really dedicated to the Nintendo. He's got a large collection of different things for the Nintendo, and secondly, like this magazine. This magazine's absolutely fantastic. It's really well done. So I don't know how well this is going to come across. Sorry, I'm in the bedroom here and I'm trying to film this. So there we go. There's some of the pages there. Really excellent quality there. You've got the team. Tells you a little bit about them. I don't know how well this is showing up on this video. I highly recommend that you actually get this. And this page here, it's got the Joy of Sticks. Basically, it shows you a few things, a brief history. But you know what? I don't want to show you any more about it, because I highly recommend that you actually go and get this magazine. Support Keith by doing this, because if we actually buy these magazines, he'll end up making more. And I think it's a major thing to do, because this really takes me back. Me and Swaney were saying, this really takes us back to the good old days of sort of like the smaller magazines, and I'm so glad to have actually read this. I tried not to read it when I was down there at Replay, because I knew I had a long journey on the way back on the Sunday, and basically I read it on the train on the way back. Now, so yeah, like I was saying, I got talking to Keith at the after party at Replay Expo. Really nice guy, really down to earth. We were actually on a little pub quiz type thing at the after show. It was me, Swaney and Keith, and unfortunately we didn't win, but I'll tell you what, we'll tell you a little bit more about that in the podcast, and I'm hoping to get a little interview with Lofarius at some point, and he can tell us a little bit about how he got into his Nintendo, how he built up his collection, and of course how he started this. So I've got that to look forward to over the next couple of months basically. Now let me show you a few other little things that I ended up getting down there. Now I haven't got the t-shirt, but there was a guy at Replay Expo who was selling a really cool t-shirt basically, and his website isn't up and running. Once it is up and running, I'll post the link on the Retro Asylum site, and what I'm going to do is try and get an interview with him as well, because he had an amazing idea. So hypothetically, pretend this t-shirt here is a bubble t-shirt. This is like my rock and roll t-shirt anyway. So pretend this is the, the t-shirt that I'm talking about is, what's it called, a bubble t-shirt. It's like the first level, and you've got the little platforms. Now, what you have got, you've got these little badges, yeah, and the badges, you buy them separately and so on. They've got loads of little characters, and the idea is, what you do, you put the little characters on the little platforms, so it looks like you're actually playing the game. Fantastic idea, and I'm going to try and grab an interview with those guys over the next couple of weeks as well, so expect them to be on the podcast, and yeah, hopefully we can get a t-shirt from those guys, so fingers crossed. I'll try and blag my way through that for you guys. I'll do it as a little prize. And next up, oh, I forgot to mention actually, Farris's magazine, the back cover is 3D, so yeah, I actually picked up 3 copies. I promised I would get one for Malk, and I promised I'd get one for Tony as well, because they've really helped me out big time. I will give little presents to you guys somewhere down the line as well. Right, so next up, I couldn't believe it when I was at Replay. It felt like the good old days. Reason being, there's one little corner down there, and they had basically a huge collection of ZX Spectrum games and Commodore 64 and Amstrad. But yeah, I got some specky games. Now, I was really shocked to find out that the games were just 50 pence. Now, I was tempted to go completely crazy and buy loads, but I only bought 4. Right, so the first game I bought was, let me show you, Shinobi. Now, Shinobi was one of my favourite arcade games ever. Now, the ZX Spectrum version is not necessarily a great conversion. It plays pretty decent, and if you look at the back here, it shows you some of the screenshots. Now, I don't think it actually, that's not a screenshot from the ZX Spectrum, and that was one of the things that used to annoy me quite a lot. If a game didn't look that good on the ZX Spectrum, they'd always show you like an Amiga version or an arcade version. I think that probably is like an Amiga version. But yeah, I got that game. The funny thing is, I haven't even got a ZX Spectrum that's working, but I'm hoping to remedy that and fix that at some point. Next up, what I've got here is Vida Saint Monty. Now, the reason why I got this game there at Replay was I was planning, and I had arranged to meet with Ben Dalglish, and I was kind of hoping he'd get to sign it. Had a little chit chat with him, with Ben Dalglish, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we will get a podcast with him, guys. I know I have been saying this for a while, but he's a very busy man, and fingers crossed we can do this, yeah? I mean, I did promise I would get the Oliver twins to do a podcast, and I managed to get that interview, so I'm hoping that I can get one with Ben Dalglish, and if I can, I'll tell you what, he's a character, so I'm so looking forward to getting him there as well. So yeah, here we go, so Vida Saint Monty. It's one of my favourite little platformer games on the Specky. And again, I don't think they actually show the actual Spectrum screenshots on that. That looks more like the C64 actually. Yeah, it says screenshots are from various formats, may vary from the version you have. Now, I remember one of the things that used to happen when I was younger, I used to go to these shops or to the market in New Covent Garden or just in my local newsagent where they used to sell games, and I'd be like, wow, look at the graphics, it looks so amazing. And then disappointingly, you'd go home and load them up and you think, oh yeah, they showed a screenshot from an Amiga or from another 8-bit system. So it was a little bit disappointing sometimes. What this has got, I think it's got some quotes, this game, of Vida Saint Monty, from some of the magazine. Now, it says here, Sinclair user basically says, I don't know if you can see that right around here, says, a Rolls Royce of platforming and ladder games with lots of nice ideas. And that was Sinclair user who said that. CVG said, if you want a huge, challenging, addictive, and something, can't read it because that bit's there, something platforming game, then Vida Saint Monty is the one for you. And finally, CCI, they said, if you like the last one, you'll love this. And yeah, I love the Monty games, really good. Alright, let me show you what other game I've got next. The next game I've got here that I want to show off that I got a replay is Bad Dudes vs Dragon Ninja.